When I was in elementary school, I discovered my love of learning words, not just from my native language, English, but from any and all languages. I started with ASL, I've started with Spanish, and I'm now learning Chinese. And as I learned these languages, I would share words with everyone. I still share words with everyone. And I realized they don't have the same passion for it I do. And I thought this is a pity because in a world that is becoming more and more globalized, it's very likely to come into contact with people who speak another language. They may or may not speak English very well, but it's still important to learn the language. And it's starting to become relevant, and you might see that. You might think, though, learning a language is too hard, takes up too much time. But today I hope to show you 3 reasons that might change your mind, and hopefully you will start to invest your time and effort into learning a language. You might be thinking, it's probably a good idea to learn another language, but what's the first reason you have that would help me want to learn another language? If you are not part of the workforce now, you will probably be entering it soon. And employers look for unique skill sets that set you apart from other people. One skill set that will set you apart is knowing another language, especially if you're going into the business or international business fields. According to a 2018 statistical report from the Census Bureau website, $78 billion more are spent on imports than exports. With all this money being spent on imports, it's not hard to see why bilingual employees or translators are important, especially to the business industry. If that's not enough to convince you, maybe my second point will. Maybe you will learn a language for your own brain health. It has been shown that learning new things will help create new neural pathways in your brain, and this will help delay the onset of neurological disorders or diseases. There's an article on the National Center for Biotechnology Information Center website written by Anthony Shook and Viorica Marion. Viorica is an expert on the effect of language on memory. Together they say, bilingualism appears to provide a means of fending off a natural decline of cognitive function and maintaining what is called cognitive reserve. They studied the brains of bilingual people and found out that even though bilingual patients' brains have more atrophy than the monolingual patients' brains, the bilingual people were performing better than the monolingual people. Later in the article, they say, the cognitive and neurological benefits of bilingualism extend from early childhood to old age as the brain more efficiently processes information and staves off cognitive decline. Now, apart from the scientific ways that learning a language helps your brain, learning a language can help you just because it helps you to learn to think creatively. When I learned Chinese, I had to learn an acronym, STLAO, subject, time, location, action, object. Now you have to follow this grammar structure pretty closely in order to be understood. Time always comes first or second in the sentence. It never comes at the end. Otherwise, it will not be understood. In English, we say, in the morning, we will go to the store. We in the morning will go to the store. We will go to the store in the morning. In Chinese, you have to say, in the morning, we will go to the store, or we in the morning will go to the store. If you put in the morning at the end of the sentence, it will not sound right. So you have to follow different grammar rules for all different languages, and that will help you start to think of information in different ways. The idioms are different too. The way they say things is different, and that will help give you a new perspective on the world. I also learned the passive voice from learning Chinese. I never knew what the passive voice was, and then I started learning Chinese and I found out what it was. Now, aside from the business and health benefits of learning another language, it can also help you if you plan to study abroad or travel abroad anytime, maybe work abroad. When you go to a foreign country, you don't know their language. They might try to sell you things for a higher price than they would to their native counterparts because you don't know. You don't know what a good price is. And even more than that, they might try to scam you somehow. But if you are overhearing their conversation, you might catch on to that. But don't let that scare you. There'll be plenty of nice people that you'll be able to converse with, and you'll be able to befriend people that you never would have been able to otherwise, people who would have never learned English. You'll have an instant connection with the locals because you speak their language, and you'll make lots of friends. In conclusion, no matter if it's for your job, your brain health, traveling or studying abroad, learning another language is a good investment of your time and energy. Once you feel that sense of accomplishment that comes from understanding your first sentence, you will never want to go back, and you will feel like you have learned something new, and it will feel so great. I hope you have learned a few things today, and maybe you'll go out and start learning another language. I hope you have a good day, and thank you for your time.